Just want to put that back. Then coffee dyed page, and this is from a children's Bible. I just fussy cut the image of Christ and put it in. This is a prayer journal or a faith journal, and I thought that I would just add that as well. Then here it's some scrapbooking paper with some lined pages. It flips up to give you some very nice writing space, and then it is also a pocket in the back. And then I have quite a bit of scrapbooking paper scraps, so I used some of them, and then I basically just stamped a fox at the bottom of each, and then I put them in here. Also scrapbooking paper scraps, so I thought, you know, I might not be able to do much else with these, so I just cut them straight-ish into squares or rectangles and then just glued them down the side. This is marbled paper. I have a, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. If I bring it closer. Just. This is marbled paper. I have a paper pad of marbled paper, and it's blue marbled. I thought I would put this in there as well. Then I thought I'd try my hand at some collage. Almost every single journal I have made so far has had at least one page where there's been a little bit of collage. This one I had some fun, some writing paper, some die cut. This is old book pages with scrapbooking paper, and that's brown packaging paper from when you order from Amazon or Take a Lot or a lot of the online sites. You get this very nice brown packaging paper with the item, and I keep them. I use them. This is from a craft magazine I had lying around, and then I just basically collaged. There's another sheet of ribbon. This is also food dyed paper. It is green on camera. It looks blue-ish. So there we go. Then some more of that washi tape, but gold this time, glittery. I keep the glittery for others. I don't really use them much in my own personal journals. This, with this, I basically had a template for an envelope that I cut out from a coin envelope. I very carefully took the envelope apart and then traced the template onto a thick cardboard, and I use that as a template for my envelopes. So I glued it onto some serviette page and then sewed around the edges and then glued it shut, and it made this little envelope. And inside I basically have some writing paper from some yellow squares that I have on my desk. I thought that I would just add some color in there, and then I basically paper clipped it to the page like that. This is my center page. I really like to have my center to be a beautiful picture or something pretty that one can enjoy. What's nice about this particular picture is that she can actually journal around it if she wants to. So there's quite a bit of journaling space. And this is from a flower arranging book that I got quite a long time ago. So I've used the images in journals that I've gifted to ladies. Then that is scrapbooking paper. I basically made a pocket, and then inside this pocket is just some extra writing paper, just blank writing paper that I've trimmed and rounded the edges on. And then in this pocket, some more scrapbooking paper scraps. I just basically cut them. These I didn't round the edges because I don't know if she'll be wanting to cut them up, tear them up, or write on them as is. So I thought I'd just leave them as squares or rectangles. It's a cluster from magazine pages, and I think that's from a really old checkbook. I'm not quite sure, but it's really, really old. I found it among documents from the 60s and stuff, so I think it's really old. Green food coloring dyed paper. This, what's blocking? This is a index card that I basically put a serviette over and then flattened it out quite nicely, and then I zigzagged around the edge, and I'm hoping you can pick up the zigzag in this light. There we go. And then that's basically what I've done, and then on the back is just quite a bit of writing space. So you can see a lot of this is removable. If Annetjie, if you're watching, a lot of this is removable, so you can take it out. You can use it wherever you like. You can keep it. You can even keep it in here if you like. The writing board is designed. You put it behind the page, and then you can write on it, and none of the bulk on the other side of the writing board is going to interfere in your writing. This is another scrapbooking piece, cut in a circle, reinforced with cardboard. And then I have this really old kiddies, it's for kids, but it was a writing book, like a mini journal, but someone was throwing it out, so I took it, and I basically kept it to use in journals. It's nice writing paper. And then I put it in. And this I did paperclip to the circle that I put in there. That is from a magazine, and this is another one of those little pads or papers from that paper pad. I think it was in a set for housewives. This is a Afrikaans quote on the other side of that marble dyed paper. There's another one of those ribbons. That is scrapbooking paper. I just made a side pocket. And this is another one of those flowers from last year's diary that I didn't really use too much. Then here I have a gratitude journal I bought a very long time ago that I haven't really been using much. So I thought that I would take some of the pages, since this is a gift that is meant to be a faith journal. I thought I'd take some of those pages out, and then I just trimmed them up, rounded the corners, and I have put that in here. So on one side you have the date, a list of what you're grateful for, a thank you Lord prayer that you can write, and then your scripture verse for the day. And it's like that on either side. So I put some of those in. That's just scrapbooking paper reinforced with cardboard sewn on the corners. If you can see the sewing over there, there we go. And then I just basically took some more writing paper. It's from an old journal I had lying around, and I didn't want to waste the paper because it's nice and thick. It's a good quality page. And then some vintage South African stamps. My husband has thousands and thousands of stamps that were lying around, and when I started the junk journaling, he decided that he would give them to me. So he did, and then recently I found a whole box full of more, hundreds and hundreds of vintage South African stamps. There are even some from the apartheid era. So there's a lot there, and I'm sifting through, but some of them I thought I would put onto this journal page. If you can see them, let me do that. I don't know if you can see that. And then that is a 6 cents. Then let me see. Behind that we have a 4 cent. Who remembers 4 cents? These are two. This one's interesting. It's a 2.5 cents. And then I've got that one. And I've got that one. And then I've got that one. Here we go. And a lion. And then I've got a 1 cent stamp. These are old. Well, older than me anyway. And a 4 cents. And then I have a malachite. There we go. I have a malachite kingfisher. And I have that 2.5 cents. You can see it, there we go. So that's basically what we have, and then I just slot this in there and in there, and then that's quite nice. This is another one of those foldable writing spaces that you open up. The other one had, I think, more of a rounded corner. This has more of a square tag shape with writing paper, scrapbooking paper, and some lined paper on the inside. You can just see that. And then let me just put that in. This is a journal card I made, another one of those Christian-based gift books that I had lying around, and I thought this was a very nice little image. And I made a journal card, and I actually put some lined paper behind this one and sewed around the edge, and then that just slots in there. This is again some scrapbooking paper scraps that I couldn't really use anywhere else, so I thought I would use them here. And I punched circles, and then I sewed it on the edge of the page. This is a very tiny little strip that I thought, I would make a pocket out of, and then I made a journaling card out of an Afrikaans biblical quote. This is another one of those paper bags, little paper bags with some ribbon on them, and then I included some washi tape, some of the glittery washi tape down the bottom. And in here I have another one of those authentic vintage writing pages. I have to be careful with some of the vintage stuff I have, because I find sometimes when you fold them, the pages are brittle and then they just break or tear on the fold just like that. So I was quite happy to see that these didn't do that and they are still usable. Then these are pages from the same diary from last year that I got those flowers from. Let me just find it again. These flowers from. I thought I'd keep the pages too, and then I just cut them out, and they had a little to-do list, some space to write, so they had, I don't know if you can see the gridded paper on here, some gridded paper and then quotes or scriptures down the bottom, and I just cut some of those and put it in here. I thought she could use them. Some blank pages. Some more of those flowers and another quote. Hope is the golden thread that should be woven into every experience of life. So I don't know if you can see the bottom flower. It's like a blue flower. I actually like that. Some more dyed pages, some more die cuts from the same set I got the birds from. If I remember who made them, I will put them in the description box. But I bought these at a scrapbooking supply shop. Another one of those scrapbooking pages, and I just made a top pocket with an Afrikaans quote, and then some really bright yellow pages I thought fitted very nicely with this particular piece of scrapbooking page, so I put it in there. This is another food colouring dyed page, and then these are some more of those gratitude journal pages. This is the other side of that envelope that I made, and then in here again I just have some plain scrapbooking paper that she can write on the side, and on that side, or cut them up if she likes. That's another end of an envelope. This envelope again, I just made a template and I cut out the template on a cardboard, and then I put a book page down, and then I put the serviette down, and then I sewed around the edges of the envelope, and then I glued the envelope shut to make it. And then in here I just have some writing paper, just normal writing paper, that I stamped with a seahorse and some blue ink. And then of course I just rounded the edges. It's something I really like to do. Most of the stuff that I do has got rounded edges. This is also some strips of scrapbooking paper I had left, and I didn't want to waste them, so I thought that I would just make a pocket out of them, and I did that. I glued some strips together and I made the pocket. And then this is just some paper also I had lying around. It's starting to get old because you can see what they call rust stains on them, so it's been around for a little while. But the paper is actually really nice, and I don't know if you can see the marbled effect just. So that's what I've done. And as you can see over here, I had some fun when I was dyeing the paper with food colouring. So I would dip the paper, and then I would take a paintbrush and I would just dip the paintbrush in the water and then have some fun. So it's not a uniform page there. These are just some flowers I bought last year, right at the beginning of the year, when I first started collecting stuff for junk journals. So these ones have a little bit of glitter on them, and you might actually see it with this light. There we go. And then they have a little rhinestone type thing glued there. Some more ribbon. Some more of that blingy washi tape. Then this is the inside back. Again, you can see, let me just take all of these out. Again, you can see the foiled aeroplane scrapbooking paper and the pocket, and then there is a quote in Afrikaans, and then I made this really tiny little journal card, and basically I put my details on the back. This journal was made especially for you by Annetjie's and my email address for reference if anybody would like me to make them a journal. And then I have some Afrikaans colouring, Christian colouring pages. This one has John 14 verse 27 on it. And then on this side, it's Psalm 127 verse 1. And then that's just some colouring pages that she could enjoy. And I slotted that in there. This is from a magazine page. I thought it looked really nice. And then I made a journal card out of it with lined paper on the back. And then this is a leftover from a vintage rose themed scrapbooking paper page. I really didn't want to waste this picture, and since I have put some flowers in here, I thought this would look really nice, and I made a journaling card out of it, and then I just slot that in there. And then that's the journal. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like down below. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet subscribed. Like I said, I've upped my journal making, so I will be sharing more flip-throughs as I complete them. And I think I might even start sharing some of my mass making projects. I have quite a few other things that I've made. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you next time.